Hello guys, welcome back. All right, and just wait a second here for people to hop on for a sec. I know I don't usually do live streams during the day, but today I had the availability to do so, so I wanted to do that for you guys. For those of you that maybe are like in different parts of the world, different time zones, that don't get to watch me all the time in the evening. Okay, so today hi, how are you? So today I wanted to talk to you guys about something a little bit different. Tell you a little bit about my personal self, what I do exactly, and why. Oh, thank you. And why I've chosen the career path that I've chosen, and the differences in like what I'm trained in. Okay, that's kind of where I wanted to go today. So I I'm going to talk about the differences between therapy and life coaching. Now, for those of you that don't know, I am a therapist and I am also a life coach. But I have chosen, through my experience of, doing both of those things, I have chosen to, to take the path, the career path of a life coach. And I'm going to tell you the reasons why. But now I don't want to make this seem like in any way that I am like bashing people that are therapists. I am one myself. But I kind of just want to talk about the differences in between the two, and, the reasons why I feel like life coaching, can be more beneficial, and as a professional, is more helpful in my life as well. Okay, oh, the artist way, is that kind of like the same thing what I'm talking about, the artist way? Yeah, I think I think we go through a lot of things in life, and we end up following different paths, and that's okay. Like when I first started my training as a coach, I kind of felt like I was abandoning my career as a therapist. But over time, I realized that all that experience that I got, and everything that I learned from my schooling, I can never replace that. It was absolutely invaluable. But being a life coach is, I don't know, it fits more of my personality. It fits more of the lifestyle that I want. And I honestly, I feel like I'm able to help people better in that way. Okay, so let me start by saying, and once again, I am in no way trying to bash people who are therapists. That is not my intent here. So one difference between the two is that, therapy can take years. Okay, it doesn't have to, but from what I've seen, many people, you can be in therapy for years talking about the same things. And, I've seen people say that, I've been in therapy for 5, 10, 15 years, and, I still struggle with a lot of the same things. Now, there could be many reasons for somebody being in therapy for years. But life coaching, many of the programs, mine included, are like weeks to months long. Okay, and now there are some coaching programs that you can be in for a year. Mine specifically is 3 months. It's 12 weeks long. So, now if you wanted to sign up again and work with me longer, you absolutely can do that. But it's not a necessity. Okay, it's not a necessity. So one of the biggest things that I've noticed from working on both sides is that as a therapist, we go through what's happened in someone's childhood, and a lot of times, depending on the type of therapy it is. Now, this isn't for all types of therapy, but sometimes with some types of therapy, you can have a very extended time where you're focused on someone's childhood. Now, you also go over what's happening in the present moment, and you talk about things that that you do want for the future. Okay, but like I said, this process can be very drawn out. Okay, now once again, depending on the certain issues that people are going through, maybe you do need to spend a little bit more time on that, and once again, I'm not saying that that there's a specific right or wrong way to do things. This is just my experience. So that can be very, very drawn out sometimes. All right. Now, with coaching, it's more action oriented. Okay. So I have 12 weeks with you to find out what you want in life and how we're going to get that in 12 weeks. Okay. And that's my goal with you. Okay. So we do a lot of work. It can be pretty intense sometimes. But my goal is to get you the results that you want, or damn near close to them, in 12 weeks. Okay. And, so we focus more on what is happening in your present moment and what you want for the future. So it's more action oriented, more goal oriented. Now, sometimes in a coaching program, you have people that have stuff from their childhood that gets brought up. Of course, I would say probably most people have some blocks about moving forward with something that come from your childhood. We all do. Okay. So I'm not saying that we don't talk about your childhood at all, or nothing can ever come up about it, but it's not a place that we stay stuck in. Okay. It's not a place that we keep drawn out. We can talk about those things, but I want to know how you can take that experience and what you've learned from that, and how can you use it now to move forward in the future towards what you really want. Okay. Right, exactly. So, you're saying a lot of your issues stem from childhood, and come on, a lot of us are, I would be surprised if there was anybody that didn't have at least one thing that's carried over from their childhood. But that's exactly right. You have to choose to change your reaction and make different habits, and choose to react in a certain way. And that is what I'm going to talk about a little bit later too. But that's exactly right. You have to choose what you want to do with those emotions and those experiences, because if you are allowing yourself to stay stuck in that negativity from childhood, how long ago was that? And I'm not saying that just because it was long ago that it's not still painful or doesn't still, bring up triggering things for you. But it's your choice whether you want to use that as, to your advantage and, make a healthier life, or if you want to just bring that and string yourself along and have that control your current life, Right. So 43 years, absolutely. You can use that as a positive, or you can use it as a negative. Okay. So like I said, it's more action oriented coaching. Okay. So the other thing about therapy is that, we're trained to look for problems and make a diagnosis, right? That's what we're trained to do. We're looking for problems, we're looking for symptoms, we're looking for patterns, and we're going to make a diagnosis. Okay? It's what we do. So, as a coach, of course, I look for patterns in your thinking and your mindset so we can, change those things, but it's more looking for solutions. Okay? I'm listening to what you're saying and listening to the issues that you're having, but it's more about helping you to find the solutions to your problems, not just labeling you and putting you in, this category. Okay, well, you have anxiety because of this, so, I'm going to label you with this anxiety diagnosis, and, that's going to stick with you for how long? You can have anxiety, but, I can show you how to take control of that. I can show you how to take control of that. And if you are truly ready to make a change in your life, we can make that change within those 12 weeks. Absolutely, it can be done. Now, I'm not saying that in those 12 weeks, you're never in your life going to have anxiety again. However, I am saying that I will be able to give you the tools that you need, that when you do have anxiety again, that you will be able to conquer that and to get through that and move on. You will not have that, you will not have that labeling you and controlling you anymore. Okay? Right. And a solution is ultimately what people want, right? So I'm not saying that you're never going to have negative feelings again, because you're going through my program. But I am saying that I am able to teach you the tools that you need to take those negative feelings and use them as something positive, and you will be able to take those negative feelings and, mold them into a learning experience, for you to be able to, continue to vibrate at a higher level, that's going to keep you happy and get you the life that you want. Okay. So, that's just another thing. It's this, diagnosing and kind of staying in the problem zone versus solution, and how can we get you what you want in a short amount of time. So also, I feel like the therapist sometimes can take the role of kind of the know-it-all, and not saying that therapists present themselves as know-it-alls, but people go to a therapist for answers. So people go to a therapist because they want them to tell them all the answers. They look at them as, the person that knows everything, right? So the therapist is the person that knows everything, and I'm going to go to them and they're going to, cure me at the therapy altar, and then that's going to be great. So there's that, as opposed to, I view my clients as, they are the know-it-all, because your life better than anyone, and you are allowing me into your life, for these 12 weeks or however long we work together. But ultimately, you are the knower of all in your life, okay? And you already have the answers inside of you, and it's my job to, help you to navigate and guide you and ask you the right questions so that you can bring those answers out within yourself. Okay? Now, I'm not going to be the one that's giving you all the answers. But I do have the knowledge to be able to ask you certain things so that you can have the answers come out yourself. Okay? And I think that that's so important, because I feel like it's more gratifying for the client to know that, that you do already know these things about yourself. And sometimes we just need that little extra confidence boost, or we need that little extra navigation, to be able to find it in ourselves. But that's my job. That's my job, to be able to, help you navigate yourself, and find those things in yourself. Yeah, exactly. Finding a path to travel. And, that's what it's all about. What do you want, and how can we get you on that path that you want to be on? Okay, that's what it's all about. So now, I also feel like sometimes therapy can be a little more strict in, like what the therapist is allowed to do. We have a lot of guidelines. Now, as a coach, we absolutely follow ethics and confidentiality and those types of things. But it's not as strict as therapy. I don't know, it's kind of the best way that I can describe it. So like with coaching, I can do what I want with my program. I have free reign to do what I want with my program. I have free reign to do what I want with my clients. Like I said, as long as, confidentiality is upheld, and, my ethics are being upheld, which absolutely are all the time. But I get to decide, and I get to get input from you, what you think is going to be helpful in your plan. So I feel like coaching can be even more individualized, versus therapy, because it's like therapy can be very like, we're going to do A, then B, then C. This is the process of how we do it. At least that's how we're taught. But with coaching, I can do whatever is going to be good for you. And because that's what it's all about. It's all about you, and what's going to be best for you might not be best for my next client, which might not be best for my next client, so I can mold things to, whatever is going to be best for you. And if you feel like you need, a little extra of, what we focused on maybe 2 weeks ago, I can bring that into the next week. Absolutely. And, like I said, it's whatever you feel that you're going to get the best gain and the best benefit from. And, I can surely tweak anything. And, I can change my whole program up if I want to. So, as a professional, it gives me a little bit more leeway to, see over time too, okay, hey, people aren't really like jiving with this piece like a lot of people, so maybe I'll change this up, yeah, to be formatted. I can format it however I want, which is a nice piece as a professional. Now, yeah, flexibility is key. Absolutely. You have to be flexible. And I like that piece, like I said before about like, this seems to fit my lifestyle more. I like that piece of flexibility and not having to be so rigid about everything. So, because not everything works for everyone. Now, the other piece, and I don't know, sometimes people think that this is a downfall, but once again, this kind of brings it in like I can change things as I want. Now, as a coach, I don't take insurance, okay? As a therapist, now, are there therapists that don't take insurance? Absolutely. But many of them do. And I know that as a client coming in, to see a therapist, that can be very helpful, money-wise. But as of right now, coaching doesn't accept insurance. Now, the reason that I do like this is because that sometimes insurance companies will dictate the treatment to the therapist. And I've seen this especially in a corporate job that I've had. It really is crazy sometimes, that the insurance company is literally dictating to the therapist what they need to do. And it's like, well, hold on a minute. How do you, as an insurance company, know what my clients need? Right? I think it's crazy. And you see it in the medical field too, that the insurance companies are dictating to the doctors which tests people do and do not need. And it's like, hold on a minute. You're not a doctor. How do you know what I need? Right? So, I just think that piece is crazy. I think it's crazy. So, like I said, because I don't take insurance, I do have the availability to decide what type of, planning, what type of, I don't like using the word treatment in coaching because I think that it's different. I'm planning with you, I'm making an action plan with you, and that's what we're going to get done. And I can decide what goes into that. I don't have, an insurance company telling me, well, I don't think you need this in your program, or I think you need a little bit more of this in your program. It's up to me. And like I said, it'll be up to you as well, to let me know kind of what you need, and we can be flexible and work that into your plan, your specific plan. Yeah, it's too many restrictions, it's way too many restrictions, I feel like. But so those are kind of the differences I feel that are between the two. And like I said, I am not in any way saying that you shouldn't go to a therapist or that therapy is bad. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying from my professional, point of view, from doing both, I feel like in my life path, I feel like I can help people more through coaching. And so specifically in my program, I bring in aspects of spirituality. So I like to be able to tell people this, that, just because I am a spiritual, like my program is a spiritual development program, but you don't have to come with me with a specific spiritual problem in order to follow through with my program. So what this means is that I bring in aspects of spirituality and different tools underneath the spiritual umbrella. I bring those things into my program to work with you on whatever, it is that you've come to me with. Yeah, so you've done therapy, but it's, and some people, for some people it's great, and they really enjoy it. Some people like that, that longer commitment to something, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. But, so specifically with my program, like I said, I'm bringing in aspects of spirituality, and I'm bringing in these tools, these spiritual tools, so that you can learn how to break through everyday negativity. Okay. And through breaking, by breaking through that negativity, you will be able to take those experiences, those negative experiences, and use them to transform your life in a positive way. Okay? So, how we respond to things is everything. All right? And I know I say this a lot, but and I don't remember where I heard this from, but regarding the law of attraction, when they say thoughts become things, it's really that emotions become things. It's your reaction to things. So the more intense you are with your feelings, and your reaction is absolutely everything. So, through my program, I will teach you how to bring these spiritual tools into your life and learn to be less reactive and more understanding in situations. Okay? And by being able to develop that type of mindset, you will be able to see such positive transformation in your life, and you will be able to understand that you don't have to react negatively even if it is an unfortunate situation. Okay, so I'm not saying that you don't have the right to be mad or upset or disappointed or things like that, but through these tools that I will give you, you will learn how to sit with that feeling and be able to acknowledge it, and then release it, letting it go, not letting it control your life. Okay? So you can move forward through this negativity and things that might bother you, little annoyances throughout the day, but all of those little annoyances really do add up. They really do add up, and they could end up changing your entire mood for the entire day. So by practicing this and really learning to bring in these tools to become less negatively reactive to things that are going on around us and more understanding, you will be able to transform your life into whatever you want it to be. Okay? Oh, you're saying that therapy didn't lead you to the path that you want it to be on. Yeah, and a lot of times people do say that, and like I said, that's one great thing that I think is about coaching, that I have 12 weeks with you. Okay, I have 12 weeks with you, and I want to make this the best 12 weeks of your life. Okay, I want to make sure that you learn as much as you possibly can and get as much control over the things in your life that you want, so that you can take that information and move on. And after the program, you can still have those things very secure in yourself, so that you can continue on to be able to make these changes in your life that you really, really want, and to develop the positive life that you want. So all right, so that's kind of in a nutshell, like what I wanted to kind of talk to you about today. Because I feel like my experience with the two has been very different. And at first I thought they were going to be very, very similar, and in some little ways that they are, but overall they're very, very different. And I just really like the idea of being able to, focus so specifically with someone on how they want to change their life, and, get that done in 12 weeks. Okay? So if you are interested in my program, you can PM me for more information on Facebook at The Spiritual Safe House, or you can go to my website and check it out on there, thespiritualsafehouse.com. Okay, and like I said, it's a 12-week program, and we bring in spiritual tools so that you can that you can use those things to develop the life that you want to have, and so you can transform your life in a positive way. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, and you know what? Sometimes you can be together. They can come together. But and that's the other good thing though too, that if I am coaching somebody and something comes up that is a little bit more intense in like the therapy area, I am trained to help you through that. However, I'm not going to stay in that piece with you. So if I feel that, this is something that maybe you do need to talk to a therapist about, I do have people that I can refer you to, because that's not, I'm not going to be giving you a service. Like you are coming to me as a coach, for me to be your coach. And so I think it's important to keep those hats separate. Okay, so I can be your coach, and if something more therapy like comes up, I can deal with that in the moment. But if that seems that it's going to be something that's going to be ongoing, I can refer you to somebody else, because you're coming to me. I want to be your coach, not your therapist. So, all right. So thank you very, very much for participating and giving your input in here. Okay. And like I said, you can check out my program if you're interested at thespiritualsafehouse.com, or you can, PM me for any questions that you might have, or more information about that on Facebook. Okay. All right. Bye, guys. I'll talk to you next time. Have a great day. Bye.